Next topic which you are going to see, it is scope of variables. It refers to part of the program where that variable is available or visible. There are two types of variable scope. One is global, another one is local. Global variables are always assigned at the top of your module. Interpreter will directly consider that particular name, that variable name, as global. It can be used inside function definitions. In the coding, I have written a global variable declaration. In that one, I have used the variable name as sum with the value 0. In the function definition of add, sum is used. Sum is equal to a plus b, and I am trying to print the value of sum within that particular function definition. That means the global variable sum is used inside add function definition. I have one more function in the same coding itself called cal. It's also using the same variable sum. There, sum is assigned with 4 plus 4, that means 8. So inside the second function, its value is going to become 8. And in the general or the main section of the coding, I have called add function with 3 and 2 actual arguments. So A is going to get a value 3 and B is going to get a value 2. The result will be 5. The calc output is going to get us 8. But see, just a printing statement trying to print the value of sum. There you will get 0. Next, we are going to see the second type of scope called the local. When a variable name is defined or assigned inside a function definition or inside a loop, then the scope of that particular thing lies within that one only. If you are trying to access outside that function definition or outside that loop, definitely you will not get it. It will lead into error. You can see according here. In this one, you are having a global variable sum. Add function is having two formal parameters, one is a and b, and a local variable called tot with a value 0. And a for loop is written here. I is going to range between 0 to 2. And sum is trying to store the value of this addition, but it will be an error generating statement. The global variable sum cannot be used inside the loop of a function definition, but the local variable tot can be used for the same purpose. And in the next three statements of the add function, we are trying to print the value of sum, tot, and a plus b result. Remember, tot, I, a, and b, they are local variables of this particular function definition, which will not be available outside this function definition. The next statement, the main statement of the execution, I have tried to call the add function with the values 3 and 2. In the next statement, I try to print the value of tot, I, a, and b. That is also error generating statement. In the next one, I try to print the value of sum. The one very problem, it will give you a value 0, because the change if you are going to make for the sum in a function will not be available outside that one. So it will just have the values 0 for the sum. Here you can see the error which is formed. The name of this error, it is unbound local error. You can see the statements which went incorrect. See this particular coding. In this one, I removed second error generating statement, but the first error generated statement is still there. So you will not be able to see the output. Now you can see the correct code. I removed both the error generated statements. Sum plus is equal to I and the printing of dot I, A and B output printing statement, which are the local variables to that particular function definition. If you are removing both these error generating statements, you can see you will get the correct output. So the first sum output, it will be 0 itself. Then the total, it is being calculated as 3. A plus B's result 5 is printed, and the sum value in the main section, it will be 0 itself. Now we are going to see how the global variable is going to work in shell mode. Now you can see 3 examples. In the first one, the global variable is value is 2, and the function is having a formal parameter x, and y is calculated as x plus a. It will return the value of a. And here this a's value will be global variable's value. In the second example, a's value is 2. That function f5 is having two formal parameters. One is x and y. And a and b is calculated. A is the sum up of both the formal arguments. Other one is the difference of that two formal arguments. And when it's going to return, a raised to 2 is going to return, and b raised to 2 also. You can do in this particular way also. But this returning a and b, they are local to that function f5. It's not having any relation with the global variable a, because both the local variable as well as the global variable, they are having same name. Whenever such type of variable declaration is going to occur, global variable's scope will be hidden inside the function definition. Whereas in the third example, x is equal to 5 is written in shell mode. Immediately, print high statement is written. So your system will print high. Nothing to do with the first statement what we have done. But after this print statement, we are checking whether Python is able to remember the value of x. So for that checking, we are just writing x and pressing enter key. Definitely, we will get the output 5. And now you see the example 4. In the shell mode, a is assigned with the value 2. And you are going to define a function f with a formal parameter x. And it's going to return x plus a. And after this function definition, in the shell mode itself, I'm calling that function f with a value 4. So x value is going to become 4 for this particular calling statement. So your control will go to the function definition, and x value will become 4. 4 plus 2 will be evaluated, and 6 will be your output. After that particular function calling statement, again a is going to get assigned with new value 1. And again that f4 function is f with the value 4 function is being called. Then at that time, that 4 is going to get added with 1 only, because 2 is no more available for a, because we have replaced global variable's value 2 with 1. So your output will be 5 for the second f of for calling function. Now see the next line written. X is written as 6. That means 6 is going to become the value of x, and f of x is being called. So you are going to get an output 1, because x value is 6, a's value is 1. 6 plus 1, you will get the output 7. After this particular statement, if you are trying to print the value of x, it will be 6 itself.